Hey guys, welcome back. This is By the Book, and we are married relationship coaches. I'm Sant.
I'm Sil.
And today we are talking about Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 2. It's taken a long time to get these weddings over with.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to say I'm bored, but we get to some action.
Yeah.
You know? Even though we watched 3 weddings, I don't feel like a whole lot extra has happened that we didn't already know. So first and foremost, we watched Kirsten and Shaquille get married. We saw from the previews that she was going to try to curb that kiss and give them some cheek action. And I don't know. It didn't seem like in the moment that he really felt a type of way about it. Mm-hmm. And then when he talked about it later, he essentially said that it made him respect her more because she had these boundaries that he set. Mm-hmm. I think that was probably wishful thinking on his part in the moment. Yeah. You know, him trying to put a positive spin on it. Mm-hmm. But then, of course, she let us know that she wasn't really attracted to him.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. You know, she was looking for somebody who wasn't bald, low haircut, but not a bald haircut. Mm-hmm. And then as she's sitting there talking to him after the wedding, she finds out that he's a year younger than she is, heaven forbid. And she's like, that's strike 2. And I'm like, wow, mm-hmm. If these are really strikes against somebody, he's going to strike out real fast.
You know it. It's coming.
So,
like I said, she's pretty particular or persnickety. And how particular, we're going to find out in the next couple of weeks. Is she an Alyssa or is she someone else that we've probably seen in the past? I mean, where is she going to fall on this spectrum?
Maybe more along the Jasmina type.
You think so?
Possibly. I mean, she's confident. She's attractive. She knows she's attractive. She was looking for some specifics appearance-wise. Mm-hmm. We even get to her talking in the after party about him having an athletic build or not, you know, mm-hmm. that being one of the things that she wanted to see. And I'm just I don't know. I couldn't really tell. You said you saw that he didn't have an athletic build. I couldn't really tell because he usually has on a sports coat or, you know, he's dressed, I don't know, business casual
Preppy.
At least,
mm-hmm.
you know,
yeah.
Or a little step above that. So it's hard to kind of see what his physical build is like. Mm-hmm. But you definitely get the sense, even if as you're watching the wedding and you're looking at her face, she doesn't look happy to be in this process anymore. Of course, she goes along with it, but she's just kind of flat with the emotion. You don't see her looking like, okay, yeah, this is it.
Yeah. So
I feel bad for the guy. What I don't want to see him do is try to overcompensate and be over accommodating. Start love bombing her kind of in a Justin type of way. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to see that. I feel like that's going to be even less attractive to her. Mm-hmm. And it's definitely going to send them down the wrong path. So I don't know what to think about this couple. I'm a little nervous. I'm hoping that she warms up to him. She did say that he had a nice personality, that he was an open book, things like that, so that she received those as being positive things. And ultimately, that could overcome some of the physical things that mean a lot less.
I don't know about this one. Just like you, but I'm not very optimistic on where this is going to go. I think she's telegraphing a lot of things that's going to only get worse as it goes on. And I also think that she put an order in. Like she said, look, I told them I wanted someone with a low haircut. I ain't say anything about it. No hair, you know. So it's almost like she put in an order at the local Chinese restaurant. Hey, I want shrimp fried rice, but they sent the vegetable fried rice or something, and she did not get her order. And I think she's probably going to begin to act out because she didn't get the order that she placed.
I don't know. I mean, to me, again, Shaq's not a bad looking guy. His appearance doesn't seem to be a problem. Like, at least to me, trying to be objective, I don't feel like his appearance is a big issue. I feel like the mannerisms could be an issue, but she didn't mention anything about that, so that might not even be bothering her. But I'm going to withhold. He don't never withhold judgment on these women, but I'm going to withhold judgment on her right now because I feel like she doesn't have a lot to go by. So maybe once we get into week, I don't know, 7 or 8, when they finally get done with these weddings. It's just taking a long time, y'all. So once we get past that part, then we'll get a real idea of exactly how shallow she can be or not.
Right.
You know.
Well, I'm going to go, I'll go into judgment. I'll take the crown. Yeah, she is shallow. I'm going to say it. Yeah, I think she's been, like I said, telegraphing, foreshadowing this whole thing for the past however many weeks we've been kind of like into this. She had someone specifically on her mind, a certain body type, a certain face, a certain presentation. She already had these things preconceived. And obviously, Shaquille is not that at the end of the aisle for her. So much to the fact she can't even touch lips with him for a half a second. It's all cheek. It's cheek action. So, nah.
I don't think you have to kiss. I think it's probably best to go ahead and break the ice with the kiss. That's not that big of a deal to me. And she also mentioned she wanted him to ask her. So it could just be a manners thing, or just like that's how she was raised. She was brought up where, you ask for that first kiss. So I'm going to withhold judgment. And we'll just see. We'll see. You could be right, but you could definitely be wrong. We'll see where she is.
This I'm not. Watch.
We'll see where she is in week 7 or 8. So, what are your thoughts on Nicole and Chris? We also saw them get married in this episode, and I didn't hear her when she predicted his name. I definitely heard the portion where he predicted her name, but it came as news to me that she had predicted his name too. I don't really care to get into those types of things. I don't think it means anything. It's just, those are both common names. So
I think they're sweet. I think right now, I think it looked like they both really wanted to be married, and they have really embraced this process. And I think Chris, with the gifts that he sent her, I think he dug a little deep. I think he does seem like he could be more on the emotional side anyway, so it probably could be a little bit more easier for him to reach that.
Okay, pause, because we got to ask them about this. Because me and my husband had a side conversation about this. I don't feel like he dug deep at all. How hard is it to buy a woman a necklace? That ain't deep. She was overly moved by it because she's gullible. And she's been messing with a bunch of fools, it sounds like, for all of her dating life. So somebody, the first little sucker that come around and buy you a necklace, you about to fall in love with him before even seeing his face? Girl, bye. No. That was crazy. What was so thoughtful about the necklace? So wait
a minute, slow up. So you don't want to judge Kirsten, but you just judge Nicole.
Because I understand what's happening with her. In the dating world, she's a fool. Because she wants to fall so much. She wants to believe. So, hey, y'all let me know what y'all think about this. But I was like, he bought you a moon rock? Isn't that what she said it was? That was supposed to be so deeply thoughtful. He didn't know what she had gotten him. She got him some sort of crystal or something like that. He didn't know she had gotten him that. So there was no connection. It wasn't like that made it thoughtful because, he sees the type of person I am. I get these types of things. That was a wild stab in the dark. This man went into a random jewelry store and was like, moon rocks. They're not that darn expensive. Here. It didn't move me. It moved her way too much, I think.
Okay, all right. First of all, let me throw it this way. I do think she was a little bit overly moved. However, I do think the gesture of him, where he sent her the moon rock with a special meaning, he sent her an engagement ring. I thought those were some very sweet things, some very tender things. And I think she felt that. I think he was speaking her language. You can call it the love language, whatever you want to call it, but I think he was speaking her language, showing that he's into this process just like she is. And I think when her sending him a crystal, not just any crystal, but a crystal with a meaning to it. You know, it had something behind it. What's wrong with your friend? I can get you some aspirin in a second.
I need some.
And so, yeah, it was things, it was gifts that had meaning behind it. It had substance behind it. And so I think that they were just connecting. Before they even met each other, it was like something real sweet happening between them two. And when they met each other at the altar, and she was just all bubbling over with joy, and he looked very nervous, but they came together, they said their vows, and she laid one kiss on him. You know, it wasn't like the Kirsten, hey, take my cheek, like take it. It wasn't that. You know, it was sweet. It was nice, and I think, like, again, they were connected. You know, even before they met with one another.
You're so sentimental. I mean, just because the box that the crystal came in says that this means communication and love. I mean, what do you mean it had a deeper meaning? Did she go and mine this thing? No. Like, y'all got to forgive me. I'm not a hopeless romantic. I'm not real sensitive or sentimental. What? Okay. I mean, I guess, whatever.
All right.
Anyhow, they do seem to be, at least for the moment, into each other. I do feel like they are going to have a little bit of a personality conflict. She had mentioned before they got married, like, what if he's boring? I think he is boring. I think that's going to come out during the course of this marriage. So, and this isn't anything that we hadn't observed before, which is why we feel like the show is moving slow, because we're not really getting any really new content from them. So basically, I just grabbed that she was overly sensitive about this necklace because she had such bad relationships in the past. And if that's what you get from having bad relationships, is to be like overly emotional, overly sensitive, overly moved, maybe, by nice gestures, is going to make you an easy mark. Fortunately, I don't think that he's the type of person to want to take advantage of her. So I don't think that's where the relationship is going to go left. I think the relationship is going to go left when she has too much energy that he can't really deal with. And I think it's just going to be a little off-putting for him. And then she's going to feel rejected. And then that's where things will start to crumble. That's my prediction for what's going to happen with
that. Could be it. Or it could be that he's the self-proclaimed nice guy. And she's not accustomed and used to these nice guys. And and like you said, it could be boring to her, or it could be a turn off to her. And she could possibly disrespect him, you know, because of that. Because she felt that she can, you know, that he's just an all-around nice guy, and he's going to put up with it or deal with whatever type of disrespect that she could throw his way. I'm hoping that none of those things happen.
I mean, I don't feel like women just say, you know what, here's a guy I can disrespect, so let me disrespect him. Like, it's a malicious thing. I think that if you're overly nice, you can come off as not having much leadership, not having much backbone, not being strong for me as a woman. And if that's how I think of you, then what role do you play? What role do I play versus what role you play?
Yeah.
Am I the man? You know, like, am I the strong one? Am I the this? Am I the that? So I think that disrespect might be perceived because he may start to feel like, okay, she's trying to be where I'm trying to be. But I don't think she would just go all out and be like, you're trash, whatever. But he definitely has had his experiences. He's gone through things that he's talked about, in the preliminary phases of this, where he does feel like people have run him over. So to me, that screams that there's probably an issue with him.
Yeah.
Just because you keep saying, I'm a nice guy, have you worked on those other parts of yourself? Like the strength, the masculinity, the leadership, the things that you are going to need going into a relationship that's going to make you feel like, okay, I'm a little bit more than just a nice guy.
Very, very good points that I can see exactly where they can get off the rails, from on both accounts. And I think that with her being very, like you said, over communicative, I think that can kind of like work against him as well, because he's probably gonna struggle trying to get his feelings out, to her, because she's gonna be talking 100 miles a minute, and he's not gonna be able to communicate with her effectively because she's gonna dominate the conversation.
Yeah.
So there are some potential issues in there, and just like the other thing that you just said too, if she's so unused to nice gestures, someone sending her nice things or whatever, probably because these guys who she was in relationships with before, if they were all about, hey, let's just Netflix and chill, and I'll bring over some McDonald's and I may let you supersize it or whatever. But, if that's what she's been used to, and this guy is so nice and so thoughtful, yeah, it may, be appealing in the beginning, but it could play out differently. But if that's all you got to
offer,
yeah.
It's gonna wear thin for sure. So the last couple that we saw get married today was Clint and Gina. I always almost forget his name. I do compare him, y'all. Sorry, sometimes in my head to Mitch. I don't think he's as extreme as Mitch, but there's just certain things, certain characteristics about him that remind me of Mitch.
Yeah.
Now, I will say right out the gate, he seemed way more attracted to Gina than Mitch ever was to Kristen. So that was was great, right off the bat. But you brought up a really interesting point, I thought, about the gift that he got for her.
The boating gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty telling. It was a gift he got her a gift for himself.
Yeah, so that they could enjoy something together. And while I can appreciate the notion of somebody like bringing you into their world and, being like, I want to make you part of what I love.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily, I guess, something like that in particular, that's like a kind of niche type hobby, it is not necessarily going to resonate with everybody the same way. Like she may, like you said, she might get seasick. She may not like sailing. You never know you don't know this person. So getting something that's so particular to one of your hobbies is a little far out there, I think.
Yeah.
Especially when you could have just got a moon rock. But honestly, I feel like all the gifts should be kind of classic gifts. Like, because you don't know the person and you don't know what's going to like maybe possibly just be off-putting to them. So you can't really go wrong with getting a woman a necklace or a bracelet, certainly an engagement ring. But I really think that's a gift. Do they not get, you can chime in, y'all, if y'all know this, but like last season, everybody got an engagement ring. We didn't really see that, I don't think, this season. But I mean, I feel like everybody should have an engagement ring along with a wedding band, but I don't know.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think because they would probably had like some type of sponsorship or something from the jewelry company.
Definitely did, because everybody was like, this came from...
Yeah.
But still, I mean, I just feel like that should be part of the process.
It should be, but it's all about money. Did whoever give
drop the sponsorship this time?
Exactly.
They may have.
Exactly.
But Yeah, so him, I don't even remember what she got him, but I think it was more of a classic gift.
Mhm.
But he definitely got her the sailing gloves. And when she talked about it, she didn't necessarily seem like she was particularly thrilled with it.
No, it didn't. But I think she just in the moment. She's about to get married and then got married, to someone that she didn't know. It's the excitement of the day.
No, like that would have definitely been off-putting.
Yeah.
And my husband and I, we talked about this as well before shooting. And as a gift to me, before our wedding, he got me a football with our pictures on it.
Yeah.
And now, if he didn't know me, if we were getting married at first sight and he got me a football, it would have been weird because, like, I'm into football, like, and I play football and everything. I would have been like, how did he know? But what if I wasn't into football? Like, that's not something that every woman is into, or even every man for that matter. So it would have been especially bizarre if you were getting me a football because you like football.
Yes.
And I'm like, what in the world? Why did he just give me a moon rock? So
I'm not gonna let that moon rock rest. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, I mean, it's just something where you've got to know that a person is into this type of thing to get them kind of a quirky gift for a wedding gift. You got to know that.
Yeah. But again, just like what you just said, we were just saying, he did not get that gift for her. He got that gift for himself.
Yeah.
And so he bought himself a gift on his wedding day.
Yeah.
And so I'm
like,
glad
she better be into this because we're going on the boat.
Yes.
I don't even understand what boating gloves are. Like, what do you have to do that requires you to have gloves?
It's sailing, so they're using ropes. And
so you mean to tell me you going to put me on a boat and I'm going to have to work?
If you want to get to where you're going and back home.
Oh!
Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like, are these stylish gloves? Is it like something that you just wear to be cool on the boat?
No, ain't no style.
Y'all know I don't sell. I'm like,
to keep your calluses.
I'm not about to help you pull no ropes.
Then how you supposed to get to where you going?
I guess we're not gonna be on a boat together. I'm about to sit back and eat some grapes while I'm on a boat. This ain't no.
No, it's some work involved with working on sales.
Okay. Yeah, I would have gave those back kindly. I would have been like, these are the things that you need, sir. But yeah, I definitely thought that was a little weird. For me, he seems particular. Mm-hmm. And I think it's subtleties that, it's like little subtle things that he's saying where it comes out to me. It stands out to me a little bit. Like before the wedding, he's like, what if she doesn't get along? Or what if my friends and my family don't get along with her? Mm-hmm. And, what if we don't find each other attractive? What if this and what if that? But it seemed kind of focused on his side of things, not like, what if she doesn't find me attractive? Or what if her family doesn't like me? And then even after the wedding, he says, yeah, when you start talking about adventures and this and that, and he was like real psyched about that. And that's great, if it works out. But the thing is, what if she didn't talk about adventure? What if she was like a bookworm or something like that? It seems like he's a lot more interested in her coming into his world, fitting into his world, doing his thing, rather than saying, okay, how can I fit into what it is that you like to do?
Yeah.
So I'll be very interested to see how that plays out over the course of time. In terms of their relationship, if it kind of wears thin, where she's like, you got to come on over to Gina's side. Like, it's not going to be all Clint all the time.
Yeah, because you know what? I think one of her things that they would say that she likes to do is travel. And I think he probably read into that. It's like, oh, yeah, we're going to be sailing together. But
like, no,
her travel could be...
We're not about to do
that. I'm going to pack a bag. I'm going to go to the airport. We're going to get a hotel.
First class.
Yes. It doesn't, they could be, they're not talking apples for apples, possibly.
I ain't about to learn no sailing terminology, the sheets and the how many knots are we traveling?
Yeah, you gotta learn how to tie knots. Yeah, the whole bit. But
I thought that was the measure of speed. We don't neither one of us know nothing about sailing, but it's just like, Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think that's going to be a clash.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it yourself when they said this is going to be easy.
Yeah.
Like that's the famous last words. And it is. I think the wedding day will be the best day for them. And it quite possibly might be all downhill from there.
But they seemed like they were attracted to one another.
Yeah.
So I would give that a pretty huge feather in their cap.
Yeah.
Is it sustaining power? I don't think so.
And that's why slow and steady might win the race. You might be surprised with Kirsten and Shaquille. It may be that she comes around, and because she likes his personality first, that all of that superficial stuff falls to the wayside. We'll see.
Yeah, we definitely got to see. Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave Eris and Jasmine, as well as Mac and Dominique out for right now because nothing really happened with them. We did see appearances from them, but they haven't gotten married yet. So I don't want to drag this video on any farther to talk about people who married at first sight has not even gotten married. I think this is the longest time
taking forever.
That it's taken. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah.
I don't know if they don't have a lot of substance. I don't know what's going on, but it's taking us a long drag to get these weddings out of the way.
I know. Far too long.
I know, like, are we going to spend a whole episode with them on the airplane when they're on the way to the honeymoon?
It wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. With X amount of weeks into it and all the couples are still not married yet.
Yeah.
And here we are. You know, we usually do videos for each couple, but it hasn't been content enough for us to do each and every couple, so we
might see if we can eke out a sidebar for you guys, though. It's been a long time.
It has been a while.
It's been a long time. We might eke out a sidebar. We'll see about that. But
maybe the side action. Kiss my cheek.
Sidebar, side cheek.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, drop those comments below. Let us know your thoughts about this episode, how you're feeling about these couples, if Kirsten is really shallow, or if we just got to give her a little bit of time to make the adjustment. We'll see.
She's shallow.
But like, share, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.